I'm going to talk about something that I think could be a little bit controversial, but I'm sharing this truth because I know it is truth, and I'm sharing this because so many of us are walking around with this limiting belief that we have these certain negative traits and it's just who we are and we were born this way, therefore we have to stay this way. But I'm here to tell you, if you don't like things about your personality, you can change it. But it comes with a permission slip we have to first give ourselves to allow ourselves to believe that we can, and that it's okay to, that it's actually possible to, and that other people have done it too. So why can't we? Now, if you watch my videos, you know how much of a core theme authenticity is in my videos, because I know how important this is for our life, for our well-being, for our physical health, to be authentic. But the reality is that we have good traits about us, and we have bad traits. Now, some of us were born with bad traits, and some of us developed bad traits due to things from the past. Maybe traumas, maybe pains, maybe experiences that created bad traits in us. The thing with these bad traits is they don't feel good to have. They often don't serve us, and they don't serve other people. So when I tell you to be authentic, I tell you to love who you are, but tap into the traits that serve you and serve other people, the traits that you already have. We can be authentic while choosing to not tap into the traits that don't better us as people and that don't feel good, because the point of authenticity is to live the life we're supposed to live and to feel good as we do it. So this video, I'm teaching you how to tap out of the traits you don't like about yourself and tap into traits that better serve you, that feel good to have, because you are capable, it is possible, and people do this all of the time. This video is going to be based on psychology and neuroscience, so you can effectively change those traits about yourself that do not serve you. The thing is, if there is something you don't like about yourself, there is somebody else who has changed that aspect of themselves into the opposite. We have this God-given personality, but we also have our God-given brain that was designed to be fully capable of changing a lot of aspects of ourself because of the mind-body connection. Our brain is like plastic. It's not like rock. We can mold the brain. When we change our thinking, we change our behaviors, we change who we are becoming. I'm not going to tell you to change every aspect you don't like all at once, but I am going to tell you to change one thing at a time. The way to know which one to start with is the biggest thing that's impacting your life right now, the biggest thing that's bringing you down right now that you want to change about yourself. So I saw this for myself when I was the shy child who turned into the confident woman. Okay, I wasn't just the shy child, but I was the shy child, shy teenager, and shy young adult until I decided to turn it around because I was tired of it. The thing with being shy is a lot of people think this is possibly because of your family, because of the way you were raised, or it's just who you are as a person. You very may well be somebody who is a shy person, but that doesn't mean you have to stay shy. Okay, you could be somebody who is a high stress person, but that doesn't mean you have to stay high stress. You could be somebody who is self-centered and you turn around to become somebody who focuses more on other people. And the thing is, my example with myself of being a shy person who became a confident person who can talk in crowds and who can talk with other people with ease now, the thing is, because I had a shy type of personality in the past, I can easily decide to tap into my shy side, to tap into my quiet side, because that sometimes feels familiar and comfortable for me, to be a little bit more quiet if I choose to do so. But because I have trained myself and taught myself to be confident and to be loud if I need to be, I can easily tap into that side of me as well. The point here is we can learn to tap into other sides of us because we can learn almost anything. Okay, let's say you are a negative person. If you made the full body decision, a type of decision where there is literally no looking back, that you are going to commit to becoming a positive person. Because you made that full body decision for the first time in your entire life, what will happen is the brain creates a switch that is turned on. The switch was not turned on before, but now a switch is turned on in your brain. And suddenly, because that switch is on, you are going to be filled with new ideas and new ways and new possibilities and new programs to then become that person. So this is the first biggest step. So what does this practically look like? So if I was a negative person, I said, I decide today, I choose to be the most positive person I can be. We have to make the decision to put our entire full focus on changing this one trait about ourselves. And I guarantee you have not put 100% focus on it before. Because when you put 100% focus on it, suddenly an entire new level of self-awareness begins. Okay, because when we put our focus on one thing instead of a million things in our day, when we wake up in the day, we say, okay, this is the personality trait I want to change about myself. So therefore, my focus is to become this trait, is to switch to the opposite. So negative to positive, if that's the thing you're working on. So like I said, we unlock this whole new level of self-awareness, because what will happen if you put your full focus with the full body decision that you are going to develop this trait in yourself, is now when you approach situations, this doesn't mean you automatically become the new trait, but what happens is you suddenly become aware of all the times in your day where you are not acting in your favor, where you are not being that positive person. Versus before, you may have noticed it, you may have not, but you let it slide. But this time, you have the full focus. So you get into the situation where you are, let's say, that negative person. You make the negative comment. You speak on something bad about your day instead of something good. Now that you have this self-awareness, you truly see it for what it is. I'm being a negative person. And then the full focus comes in. And then all of the ways that you can switch that, all of those ways that didn't come to your brain before, such as maybe I can speak on this topic instead. Or maybe right before the words actually come out of your mouth that would make you negative in that situation, you stop yourself because the switch is on to have the full focus on being the positive version of you. What does it do when we wake up each day with the full focus of being that specific trait we want to turn into? What happens is we unlock this new level of self-awareness. All the times in the day where we would do that thing that we would previously do that would make us negative, whatever trait we're trying to change, we will now become highly aware. Now that we are highly aware, the brain unlocks all these new ideas and all these new ways and stops you as much as it possibly can to not partake in the thing that you used to do, because that is your full focus. This is so simple, but that one switch we make in our brain allows our brain to give us the ideas, the ways to stop acting in the way we don't want to act. Mentally rehearsing who we want to be is a profound way to help us in life in general, but it's a profound way to change our personality. The brain doesn't know the difference. If you're into personal development, you've heard this before, probably a million times. The brain doesn't know the difference between what we are thinking and what we are seeing and experiencing. So if we mentally rehearse the version of ourselves that has one specific trait that we want to tap into over and over, then the body and the brain will begin to respond accordingly with a lot of ease, with a lot more ease than if you just try to force yourself to be that person. Now, it is possible to switch yourself each and every time when you are acting the way that doesn't align with the new version of you that you want to be. It's possible, and it really helps you. What this does is it literally rewires the brain the more you repeat and do it. It's repetition, and repetition creates new belief systems in the brain. But if we, on top of all of that, mentally rehearse that version of us, and I love to tell people to do this, especially when they're trying to become a confident person, before they walk into the room where they have to socialize or go towards anything or anybody where they have to socialize and present themselves, before they do that, mentally rehearse the version of them that they want to be. So think of that one single trait that you want to obtain, that you want to tap into. Before you go towards people or go into that room or talk to people, you envision yourself with that version, and you mentally rehearse it, and you repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You can either repeat it by mentally rehearsing it, by imagining yourself do this. No, this is not woo-woo. We are imagining, we are daydreaming all of the time. This is just helping create new brain circuits to become that version of ourselves with more ease. We are always doing this, but are you doing this in your favor? This is how you do it in your favor. Or we mentally rehearse it by repeating it in our mind. I am now this new version of myself. My favorite way to repeat any affirmation that I have found the most powerful for me is not doing it hundreds and thousands of times. That does work for some people. We are always affirming if we are thinking to ourselves. Affirming is simply the thoughts we think to ourselves over and over. We often do this regardless whether we realize it or not. I am not a good person. I'm having a bad day. My work is so difficult. We're always repeating and affirming different things, but are we doing it in our favor? My favorite way to do this is by repeating and affirming things, not hundreds or thousands of times, like I said, but only when I'm in that knowing state that it is true for me. Okay, so instead of saying, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident, I might take a step back. I might journal. I might do some EFT tapping on myself. And I write down, why can I be confident? Why is this truly the new version of me? Why is this possible for me? What have I achieved in my life that would make me confident? Then I get into the knowing state. And instead of going, I'm confident, over and over, does work for some people because repetition over time will truly work for you. But a more powerful way to do it is, I am confident. Yeah, I am confident. Yeah, that's me. I am a positive person now. Yeah, I am capable of achieving these things now. Yeah, I am a disciplined person now. Okay, so we don't have to have heightened emotion when we mentally rehearse. We don't have to do that. That's a limiting belief. But I find it really powerful to actually just be calm and neutral and say it as if you truly knew it. If you have blonde hair and you said, I have blonde hair, I have blonde hair, why would you speak like that? No, you would say, I have blonde hair. Because you know it to be true. It's casual. It's normal for you. I'm a positive person now. I do these things now. I'm a disciplined person now. Okay, so we do that. We mentally rehearse when we feel called to, when we feel like it's beneficial to. The more you mentally rehearse it, the easier it's going to be. So you decide what works for you. But my rule of thumb that I love to tell people is mentally rehearse before you approach people. So as you do these two things, as you make the full focus each day to change this trait about yourself, you're going to become self-aware. Like I said, you're going to get in those situations where you're either going to stop yourself from doing the thing you used to previously do, or you will still do it. Okay? If you still do it, this is common, this is normal, especially if this is the version of you you've been for most of your life. That's okay. The beautiful thing about those mistakes that we make is there's never anything negative about those mistakes if we take from them, if we make them a lesson. Then they are the most powerful thing ever. So if we make the mistake of being that version of ourselves, saying the negative thing when we're trying to be positive, beautiful, fantastic. You see it for what it is, because before you didn't see it for what it was. Maybe you just recognized I'm a negative person, but you weren't self-aware enough and you didn't have the full body decision and the conviction enough to make the decision different next time. But if you wake up each day with that full focus, like I said, you will have enough conviction to not continue after you make those mistakes. Might be 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Each and every time, no matter how many times you make the mistake, you say it again. This is who I'm being. This is who I'm going to be. This is who I am becoming. If I make this mistake next time, I get to recognize it and be aware even more. And this can be a happy, positive thing because you used to let your mistakes pass you by, but now you allow your mistakes to turn into lessons instead of turning into a waste. And you will be rewiring your mind. And all of this rewires the mind. Until one day, it doesn't have to become conscious effort. You simply have the ability to tap into that version of yourself whenever you want with ease.